About 3 weeks ago, I told you the story of a 51-year-old Michigan woman who accidentally shot herself in the face because she was trying to make a point. We never really figured out what point she was trying to make or what point she was trying to prove, but she certainly proved many points to me, one of which is it's not a good idea to test whether a gun is loaded or not by pointing it at your face and pulling the trigger. We now have another insane incident like this involving an Illinois man who actually, sadly, is not going to survive, unlike the Michigan woman who shot herself in the face. He was trying to prove to his friends that his shotgun was not loaded by pointing it at his head and pulling the trigger. According to the Sun-Times Media Wire, Evanston police responded around 9:45 at night 2 days ago to a 911 call about a man accidentally shooting himself in the head. Police said the man was on the floor with a shotgun near his head, and he had been shot in the head. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office identified the man as 31-year-old Eric Zizanski. Witnesses all basically had the same story, which is that he began showing off his shotgun. His friends got understandably nervous, and he wanted to prove that it was empty by first ejecting 2 to 3 rounds, then pointing the shotgun at his head and pulling the trigger, subsequently shooting himself and killing himself. After reading about what this man did, I'm wondering whether he was trying to prove that the gun was empty or that his head was empty.
I think we know which one was empty. First of all, Darwin Award.
If he hasn't yet had children, though. Remember, Lewis, we always get criticized when it's a parent who kills themselves because they've already passed on their genes. Hopefully, this is not that case.
But still, he can't have any more children now. So still, I say Darwin Award, even if he has already procreated. You know what? I have to say that someone like this, I'm glad they did themselves in before they did someone else in.
Well, I was going to say, since when did pointing a gun at your head and pulling the trigger become the way in which you check whether the gun is loaded?
Now, we've covered stories where people have done the exact same thing except pointed the gun at someone else.
Yeah.
Claiming that it wasn't loaded and shot that other person in the head. So I encourage people who want to do this to point the gun at themselves. And if they kill themselves in the process, well, perhaps the world's a little safer.
When someone at a party starts showing off a gun, it's time to leave. And Lewis, I don't know if you've been in situations where people start thinking about showing people guns at parties. I actually have, and I've left.
Well, I've been at parties where we descend into the basement and, you know, the gun safe gets opened up and we're like, oh, look at this one. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But then you close it and you go back upstairs to the party.
Nobody, yeah, in fact, actually, a friend of mine, I was in the exact same situation, maybe the same friend, where he has a gun safe in his basement and he opened it. But certainly not when people start handling guns.
No. I don't think I've ever been in a party where that has happened. And if it did, certainly I would not want to stick around.